we are a show about love, Tito Boy. And it's hard to talk to people about love because, again, they're very guarded when it comes to that. And I feel like you
Oh,
have the skill to get things out of people. How do you get people to get vulnerable with you during interviews? And in turn, are or were you? Was it easy for you to be vulnerable in return?
there was a time in my career when I was so bothered by the dubious reputation that for you to be able to be a guest in Boy Abunda shows, either the time the buzz or private conversations or the bottom line with Boy Abunda, you have to cry.
Mm.
Parang, ha? Yung parang, there was this notion that you have to be emotional. So meron akong mga guests na di pa nga nag-uumpisa, medyo lumuluha-luha na. I think to answer that question is, you go back to your core. You go back to your truth. You go back to your intention. My intention when I am in front of a guest is to tell a story. I'm part of the storytelling process. And I don't bullshit anyone. Like, okay, let's go to my most recent interview with Gerald Anderson. He had not been asked about the ghosting, about, Julia Barretto, etc. Dumating ako doon sa set nila, and he was already, he was already there because I traveled for like 3 hours. Akala ko malapit lang. Pagdating ko, sabi niya, Tito Boy, kumusta? Sabi ko, mabuti. Hindi tayo nagkita ng matagal panahon, etc. Sabi ko, nga magdadalawang taon na, Gerald. Sabi, pag-uusapan natin, sabi ko, pupunta ako doon kung saan mo ako dadalhin. I'll just listen to your story. So I knew, I did my research, I stalked Julia, Bea, and Gerald on their social media accounts. I knew my space. Pero hindi ako sigurado if he was open to talking about, private matters. Unang tanong ko pa lang, ang sagot niya ay, alam mo naman, Tito Boy, at a certain point, I was the most controversial man in this country. And then, I am grateful. So, yung gratitude, sabi ko, if you're grateful, you should be able to give your fans what they expect you to give. Don't pumasok yung, how much of you are you willing to share? Did you ghost Bea Alonzo? This is what your fans want. Doon naman sa gratitude, sabi ko, pwede kami mapag-usapan yung nanay. I mean, because you got to where you are, certainly because of so many people. Nanay, directors, etc., mentors, pumasok na doon. So 2 words pa lang, alam mo nang dinadala ka niya, and he was telling me that it was okay for him to talk about these things. Alam mo, Chari, am I pronouncing your name correctly? I'm sorry.
Perfect.
Chari, guests are peculiar. I mean, this is a peculiarity. When you do talk shows, people come to your set defensive, ready to project, best foot forward, nervous. Yun was we have been taught, and it is right in the discipline of branding, because this is what you are. Sin. People perceive you to be. So I want you to perceive me as the best. Kailangan walang scars. Kailangan flawless. Kailangan may posture. Kailangan diretso ang salita. Lahat ng mga guests natin gano'n. In the process, pag binasag mo yon, when you shake that, ayan, bumibigay yon.
How do you have meaningful conversations with people you meet on dating apps, on a virtual world, that are not that, yung ine-edit? Like, if I say something wrong, it's completely like, edit mo yan, or just forget I said that. You're a master interviewer, and you just get people to share their heart, their mind, their soul. And if anything, I would like people, like men and women that are kind of scared right now to date, how do they pick up the Boy Abunda brain?
This is our trouble now.
One of our dearest friends got married to someone. They're a gay couple. One of our dearest friends got married to someone he met on a dating app. I'm not a fan of the apps, the various apps. I'm not a fan. But to answer your questions, keep on talking. I mean, the Zoom, the virtual conversations, whatever app you have, don't trust the messaging. You've got at least to see each other. But this is an opinion, and I can be wrong, but I don't think you can build a relationship digitally. That has to cross over to at least saying hello to each other and meeting. And I still go for you guys meeting your parents and smelling each other, feeling each other's hands. It's I'm very open about talking about sex. I mean, you have to be sexually compatible. You have to be emotionally compatible. You have to be financially compatible. There is so much. There are so many boundaries on the digital dating apps that will not allow you to know someone profoundly. It can be a good start, pero I'm very careful about saying that apps don't work. Because yung kaibigan nga namin, boy, we're very happy. We're 7 years now. I go, galing.
Fingers crossed. That's kind of all we have now.
Pag-asa, yun lang.
Chari, Bea, conversations, like your intention, for example, is to get to know the person better. Huwag masyadong pilit. And getting to know each other better does not begin with, let's start with a prayer or let's sing together. They can start with, the little things or the big things. Or what do you think about Meghan and Harry? What do you think? Lalabas at lalabas yan dun eh. Pero it cannot be, you cannot know a person in one conversation. But it is also important to listen. It's very, very important to listen.
We interviewed Ces Drilon, and her biggest thing to us was just allow it to be a conversation. Just let it flow, because sometimes it's going to be hard, and if you let it just flow, it will come back and with rewards if you're listening.
That was a great conversation.
She's a wonderful woman, and she is a dear friend. And again, when she was kidnapped and when she came back and did an interview in front of the employees of the Lopez group of companies, she picked me to do her interview. Nung isang linggo, she invited me to do an interview again with her. Sabi niya, alam mo kung bakit ikaw ang inimbita ko? Para hindi ako magsalita, para ikaw lang.
You were in that conversation because we weren't sure if we're going to ask her about the kidnapping, because we wanted to. That's how we remember her from the news. I was like, what would Tito Boy ask? For sure, he would ask about the kidnapping.
And she was so open. She just started the sentence with, when I was abducted in Sulu. I'm like, okay, we're in. Yeah. We can talk about it.
Yeah. No, Chari, is the intention is very important. The technique is, sa atin, lalo na sa kultura natin, hindi naman tayo contrarian, hindi naman tayo hard talk ng BBC. We are wired to be polite. We're wired to agree. We're wired to be courteous. And para sa akin, tama naman talaga. Hindi mo binabastos ang bisita. But neither should be you pandering. Lalo na pag, you shouldn't pander. You should ask. Alam mo, nung in-interview ko si Ces about that episode in her life, diretsa. People are asking right now, were you raped? Because that makes a lot of sense. Pero depende yun sa konteksto, depende sa rhythm ng pag-uusap. Dadalhin ka dun eh. And it was a very difficult interview because I did it a few days after she came back to Manila.